Secrets don't stay buried forever. Tiana, they told us forget. But my grandmother wrote it all down. Legacy of truth, buried but breathing. Every lie they told, still bleeding. You can silence mouths, you can lock the proof, but you can't outrun the legacy of truth. Truth, 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 truth.
The storm over RollingWood does not break, it thickens. Morning comes slow and heavy, the kind of dawn that feels bruised before it fully arrives. Fog hangs low over Main Street, wrapping the town in a pale gray shroud that blurs the line between night and day. From a distance, RollingWood looks peaceful again, almost innocent. But beneath the quiet storefronts and manicured porches, something volatile is shifting. The truth has been disturbed, and now it's looking for somewhere to land. Tiana Reeves hasn't slept. She sits at the small kitchen table in her grandmother's house, the same table where Elise once graded papers, drank her morning tea, and quietly planned a lifetime of resistance. The lights are off. Only the glow from her phone illuminates Tiana's face as she scrolls through unread messages. Some supportive, others threatening, many anonymous. You don't know what you're messing with. Stop digging. This town will eat you alive. She exhales slowly, sets the phone face down, and presses her palms flat against the table. Her reflection stares back at her in the darkened window, eyes sharper now, older than they were when she arrived. RollingWood has already taken something from her. The question is what it will demand next. The group that once felt solid now feels fragile. Marcus avoids eye contact during breakfast, his usual easy confidence replaced by tight shoulders and clipped responses. Simone, the journalist who helped push Elisa's story into the light, has gone quiet, her calls unanswered, her office suddenly closed for renovations. Even Reverend Carter, once steady and reassuring, has started choosing his words too carefully, his pauses lasting just a little too long. Tiana notices everything. She notices how conversations stop when she enters a room. She notices how information arrives late or not at all. She notices how fear is beginning to sound like strategy. When she finally confronts Marcus, it isn't explosive. It's worse. It's restrained. "You holding something back from me?" she asks quietly, standing in the backyard where magnolia petals litter the ground like fallen secrets. Marcus sighs, rubbing his hands together. "I'm trying to protect you." "From who?" Tiana fires back. "Them or me?" He doesn't answer fast enough. That silence becomes a wound. Across town, doors that were once shut begin to open, but only for certain people. Private meetings take place behind drawn curtains. Old alliances resurface. Phone calls are made to contacts long thought retired or dead. The powerful families of RollingWood, names etched into buildings, scholarships, and street signs, are no longer reactive. They are proactive. They sense division, and they know how to exploit it. Documents vanish from county records. A key witness suddenly recants their statement, claiming misunderstanding and outside pressure. A new narrative begins circulating through local media. Elise Reeves was confused in her later years. Tiana is grieving, emotional, unstable, a danger to herself, a danger to the town. Tiana watches unfold in real time, stunned by how quickly truth can be reshaped when money, influence, and fear work together. But what cuts deepest isn't the opposition. It's the realization that someone close to her is feeding the fire. Simone finally resurfaces, meeting Tiana at a dim diner on the edge of town. She looks exhausted, nervous. "They offer me a deal," Simone admits, her voice barely above a whisper. "Access, protection, a national platform if I walk away from this." Tiana studies her, the clink of silverware and low murmur of other patrons filling the space between them. And Simone swallows. "I haven't said yes, but you haven't said no." That answer hangs heavy. Later, Tiana discovers an email thread forwarded anonymously to her phone, internal messages between town officials, legal advisors, and someone listed only as consultant. The language is cold, methodical, a plan to discredit, to delay, to divide. One line stands out. If Reeves loses her support system, she'll fold. Tiana's hands shake, not from fear, but from fury. They aren't just attacking her case. They're attacking her relationships. A surprise injunction halts the release of additional documents tied to the civil rights case Elise had investigated. Protest permits are denied on safety grounds. A respected elder publicly denounces Tiana during a town hall meeting, accusing her of reopening wounds that never heal for a reason. The room is divided, some nodding, others glaring, many silent. Chaos simmers just beneath the surface. Outside the meeting, tensions spill over. Old resentments ignite. Neighbors argue. Police presence increases. The town feels like it's holding its breath, unsure whether to scream or explode. Tiana watches from the steps of the courthouse, realizing the truth she's chasing doesn't just threaten powerful people. It threatens a fragile illusion of peace RollingWood has relied on for decades. Justice has a cost, and the bill is coming due. Every conversation feels like a test. Every promise feels conditional. Every ally feels temporary. Her mother begs her to stop, fear finally outweighing pride. "I already lost my mama," she says through tears. "I can't lose you too." Even Reverend Carter pulls her aside after service, his voice heavy with warning. There are forces at work here you don't fully understand. Sometimes survival is its own kind of victory. Tiana hears him, but she doesn't agree. Late that night, she returns to the attic, the place where this journey truly began. Surrounded by Elise's journals and clippings, she finally allows herself to break. Just for a moment, the weight of betrayal presses down on her chest, threatening to crush her resolve. Then she opens one final notebook she hadn't read yet. Inside, written in her grandmother's familiar hand, "When the lies get loud, look for who benefits from your silence. And remember, betrayal is the price of proximity. Not everyone close to you is meant to go the distance." Tiana closes the book slowly. Her tears stop. Her resolve hardens. Tiana receives a text message from an unknown number. "You're asking the wrong questions. Meet me alone if you want real answers." Attached is a photo. It's recent. It shows someone she trusts, someone she believed was firmly on her side, walking into a private residence owned by one of the most powerful families in RollingWood. Timestamp, 1 hour ago. The episode ends with Tiana standing in the dark, phone glowing in her hand, realization crashing over her like cold water. The enemy isn't just watching her anymore. They're inside her circle. The message doesn't leave Tiana's hand. Even after the screen goes dark, after the glow fades and the house settles back into its nighttime creaks, she stands frozen in the attic, phone clenched like evidence she isn't ready to process. The image loops in her mind. Familiar posture, unmistakable silhouette, the confidence of someone who believes they won't be seen. But they were. And whoever sent the message wanted her to know that trust in RollingWood is never free. By morning, the town feels different. Not louder, not quieter, just off. Tiana drives through RollingWood with the windows down, letting the cool air sting her face, grounding her. Store owners greet her with tight smiles. Some look away entirely. A few nod in subtle solidarity. The divide is no longer theoretical. It's visible, mapped across faces she's known since childhood. At a red light near Main Street, she notices a black sedan idling 2 cars behind her. When the light changes, it turns with her. When she slows, it slows. She doesn't panic. She memorizes. Shows of power are meant to intimidate. Elise taught her that. Tiana doesn't confront the person in the photo right away. Instead, she watches. She listens more than she speaks. Lets conversations breathe long enough for people to fill the silence with their own tells. Everyone has one, over-explaining, deflecting, false concern. Marcus notices the shift first. "You move in different," he says later that afternoon, leaning against a truck outside the Reeves house. "You clock in, folks, instead of arguing." "I'm learning," Tiana replies evenly. He studies her. "That usually means you found something. She meets his gaze, or someone. Marcus straightens, defensive without realizing it. The moment passes, but the tension doesn't. It lingers like smoke in still air. The families don't wait long to capitalize on the fractures. By midweek, legal notices arrive, cease and desist letters, warnings about defamation, thinly veiled threats wrapped in official language. A fundraiser is announced by one of the implicated families, framed as a unity event to heal the town. Unity on their terms. Local radio hosts begin questioning Tiana's credibility. A former classmate goes on record claiming Elise was obsessed near the end of her life. Another suggests Tiana returned not for truth, but attention. Every lie is polished. Every truth is questioned. And somewhere in the chaos, the person who met secretly with the family continues to move freely. Still close, still trusted by others, still hidden from direct confrontation. Against her better judgment, Tiana responds to the anonymous text. One word, where? The reply comes almost instantly. Tonight, old rail yard come alone. She doesn't tell anyone. Not Marcus. Not her mother. Not Simone. Trust, she's learning, isn't about loyalty, it's about leverage. And right now, too many people have something to gain from her being stopped. The rail yard sits on the edge of town, rusted tracks disappearing into weeds and shadow. It's a place forgotten by progress, but remembered by people who don't want witnesses. Headlights cut through the dark as Tiana pulls in. She steps out slowly, heart steady, mind racing. A figure emerges from behind a freight car. Not who she expected. Didn't think you'd come, the person says. Didn't think you'd know how to find me, Tiana replies. The exchange looks heavy with shared history and unspoken regret. What's revealed in that conversation, half confessions, half warnings, confirms Tiana's worst fear. The betrayal isn't singular. It's layered. People she trusts are being pressured, bought, or blackmailed. Some are resisting. Some are folding. And some believe they're doing the right thing by stopping her, because the truth, once fully exposed, could tear RollingWood apart for good. When Tiana returns home, just before dawn, she finds the front door ajar. Nothing is stolen. Nothing is broken. But Elise's journals, the originals, are gone. In their place, a single sheet of paper sits on the table, neatly folded. Last warning. Tiana sinks into a chair, exhaustion finally crashing over her. Not fear, not doubt, grief. For her grandmother, for her town, for the version of herself that believed truth alone was enough. She wipes her eyes, stands, and begins rebuilding from memory, rewriting notes, retracing connections, reorganizing what's left. They took paper. They didn't take what she knows. Her voice echoes softly in the room, more promise than prayer. Everybody gotta choose. The camera lingers on the board, on the circle name, on the truth, waiting to break free that the circle on the board becomes an obsession. Tiana wakes up staring at it in her mind. The name she wrote in thick black marker, pressed so hard it nearly tore through the poster board. She doesn't look at it first thing anymore. That would give it too much power. Instead, she moves through her morning on instinct, muscle memory carrying her while her thoughts sharpen in the background. Elise used to say, when the room gets quiet, it's because someone's listening. RollingWood is quiet again. 2 churches hold services at the same hour, one preaching reconciliation, the other justice. Yard signs appear overnight. Let the past rest on one block. Truth is due on the next. A fight breaks out in the grocery store over nothing and everything. Police response is immediate, excessive. Fear is being managed. That's how Tiana knows the families are nervous. She meets Simone at a borrowed office space above a closed-down beauty supply store. The building smells like dust and old hair products, but it's off the radar. Simone looks thinner, wired. I didn't take the deal, Simone says before Tiana can speak. But they're watching me like I did. Tiana nods. That makes 2 of us. Simone slides a flash drive across the desk. This came from a source inside the courthouse. I can't protect them if this leaks. What's on it? Proof the original civil rights case was intentionally misfiled. Evidence labeled destroyed that was never destroyed. Tiana's jaw tightens. That's the spine. Simone exhales. It's also a death wish. They share a look. No bravado, just understanding. That afternoon, Reverend Carter asks to see Tiana alone. They sit in the empty sanctuary, sunlight filtering through stained glass, painting the pews in fractured colors. He doesn't sermonize this time. He speaks plainly. "I buried a man once," he says quietly, not in the ground, in silence. "I told myself it was mercy." Tiana doesn't interrupt. "He was innocent," Carter continues, "and Elise never forgave me for staying quiet." The confession lands heavy. "I can't undo what I didn't do," he says. "But I can tell you this. The people you think are orchestrating this are only the face. The real power doesn't show up to meetings. They send pressure." "Names," Tiana says softly. Carter hesitates, then shakes his head. "Not yet, but I'm closer than I've ever been." It's not the reassurance she wants, but it's movement. The betrayal breaks not with drama, but with inevitability. Tiana catches him in a lie so small it can't be defended. A date that doesn't line up. A meeting that supposedly never happened. She doesn't accuse. She asks for clarity. They give excuses instead. That's enough. Later that night, she confronts them, not in anger, but with evidence laid out between them like a mirror. "You didn't mean for it to go this far," Tiana says, "but you let them think you were theirs." Tears come, explanations, fear dressed up as responsibility. "They said if I didn't help slow you down, they'd ruin my family," the person whispers. Tiana absorbs it. All of it. The fear, the love, the betrayal. "You should have told me," she says quietly. "I know. Some betrayals don't end relationships. They redefine them." Tiana alone in the study. She stares at her grandmother's photograph on the wall. Elise's eyes are calm, certain. Tiana has two paths now. Work within the system, slow, fragile, likely compromised. Or go public, full release, no safety net, no control over fallout. Marcus calls. For once, his voice carries no bravado. "If you drop everything at once," he says, "this town might not survive it." Tiana closes her eyes. "Neither did she," she replies. She whispers, not to anyone else, but to herself, "Let it burn."
Rolling wood. Secrets don't stay buried forever. Tiana, they told us forget. But my grandmother wrote it all down. Can't outrun legacy.